Hello everybody, this is Pastor Green. We're doing another Bible study, Exodus chapter 22. If you'd like me to come speak at your church or if you have any questions, you can email me at godsohman@gmail.com. Exodus 22, start with verse 1. If a man shall steal an ox or a sheep and kill it or sell it, he shall restore 5 oxen for 1 ox and 4 sheep for a sheep. And I think this is a really important thing. As I told you in the last chapter, the Bible doesn't talk about prison. One of 3 things happens. Either you pay a fine, you get beaten, or you get killed. And this is done for a couple different reasons. For instance, this one right here, verse 1. If you steal somebody's ox or sheep and you kill it, you got to repay it back, 5 oxen for an ox or 4 sheep for a sheep. That way, you get caught, you pay back the owner restitution for what you did, you get to go home, be with your family, hopefully you learn from your mistakes. But what's the point of putting somebody in prison and then making the person that you stole from pay their groceries? It doesn't make any sense. And a lot of times, they steal from you, you don't get that stuff back because they're in prison and don't have any money. This way, you're forced to basically pay the person you stole from. If a thief be found breaking up and be smitten that he die, there should be no blood be shed for him. So basically, if somebody breaks into your house and you kill him in the process, well, self-defense, so you're perfectly fine. If the sun be risen up upon him, there shall be blood shed for him. And he shall make full restitution. And if he has nothing, then he shall be sold for his theft. So basically, if you do something wrong and you get caught, you make full restitution. If you don't have any money, you got to work for somebody to make money to pay your debt back. If the thief be certainly found in his hand alive, whether it be an ox or an axe or a sheep, he shall restore double. So if you stole something from me and as the animal still alive, you have to pay me my animal back plus double. If a man shall cause a field or vineyard to be eaten, it shall be put in his beast, it shall be fed in another man's field. Of the best of his own field and of the best of his own vineyard shall he make restitution. So if you have a goat or a sheep or cow or whatever, and it gets into my field and starts eating up my field, well, you have to now give me your best from your field to pay for what your animal ate out of my field. If a fire breaks out and catches in thorns, so that the stacks of corn or the standing corn of the field shall be consumed therein, where he kindled the fire shall make a restitution. So if you set fire to my field, whether it's on purpose or an accident, you have to basically pay restitution for what got burnt up. If a man shall deliver unto his neighbor money or stuff to keep, and it be stolen out of the man's house, if the thief is found, let him pay double. So if I give you money to hold on for me, and somebody breaks in, and the thief gets caught, the thief has to pay double of what they stole from me. If the thief be not found, then the master of the house shall be brought to the judges to see whether he have put his hands onto the neighbor's goods. So if I give you money to hold, and it goes missing, and we can't find a thief, there's going to be a court case between me and you over if you took my money or not. For all manners of trespass, whether it be an ox or an axe or a sheep, for raiment or for any manner of lost thing, which other challenges to be his, the cause of both parties shall come before the judges, and whoever the judges shall condemn, he shall pay double unto his neighbor. So if me and you have an argument saying that an animal or a piece of clothing or something gets taken, and you say it's yours and I say it's mine, we go in front of a judge and have a court case, and whoever wins their court case gets double back. If a man delivers unto his neighbor an ass or an ox or a sheep or any beast to keep, and it die or be hurt or driven away, no man seeing it. Basically, if I promise you something and I give it to you and it ends up dying, and no man saw how he died, then it shall be an oath to the Lord between them both, that he has not put his hands on his neighbor's goods, and the owner shall just accept thereof. They shall not make it good. So if I give you a lawnmower and it's working when I gave it to you, and all of a sudden it's broken, and I tell you I didn't break it, well then it is what it is. Or if I give you a cow and the cow ends up dying and nobody knows why, it just is what it is. It's just we just accept it. And if it be stolen from him, he shall make restitution unto the owner thereof. So if basically, somebody steals what I gave you, they have to make restitution of it. If it be torn in pieces, then let him bring forth for a witness, and he shall not make good for what it was torn. So if something gets torn up, then you bring it forward to a judge, and the judge basically makes a decision. If a man borrow aught of his neighbor, and it be hurt or die, the owner therefore not being with it, shall be able to make it good. So if I borrow your shovel, and I break your shovel, well then I got to pay you back your shovel. If I borrow your ox to plow my field, and your ox dies in my watch, then I've got to pay you the price of the ox. But if the owner therefore be with it, it shall not make it good. It should be a higher thing. It came for his hire. So basically what it's saying is, if you come to me and say, hey listen, I want to borrow your lawnmower for $200. You give me $200, you borrow my lawnmower, and the lawnmower breaks, you pay me $200, we're even now. Or if I sell you, if I let you borrow my sheep or an ox, let's say I let you borrow my ox, and you borrow my ox for $1,000 and it dies in your care, you've already given me $1,000. It's just how it works. It's just like if you rent a car and the car breaks down, you're not responsible for the car. You rented it from them. And if a man entices a maid that is not betrothed and lie with her, he shall be endow her to be his wife. So if you see a lady and you like her, and you basically entice her, and you are intimate with her, now you have to marry her. That's the law. And if her father utterly refuses to give her unto him, he shall pay money according to the dowry of virgins. So if you seduce a lady and you are intimate with her, and the dad says absolutely not, I'm not gonna let her marry you, you got to pay the dowry. And thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. God does not like witchcraft. Whosoever lieth with a beast shall surely be put to death. God does not like bestiality. He that sacrifices unto any god, save unto the Lord only, should be destroyed. God doesn't want any other gods before him. You can't have two separate laws in a land. If you worship another god, and you're gonna have two different laws. God doesn't want that. Thou shalt neither vex a stranger nor oppress him, for ye were strangers in the land of Egypt. So basically, don't be mean to any strangers. Don't oppress a stranger. And basically, this is something simple that when you're reading the King James, you have to understand. There's thee, thou, they, and ye, you, your. If it goes to the T, it's singular. So it's saying, thou, you, should not neither vex a stranger nor oppress him, for we were all strangers in the land of Egypt. If it starts with a Y, it's plural. So singular, you, talking about you specifically, shall neither vex a stranger or oppress him, for we've all were strangers in the land of Egypt. Ye is a plural, so we're all a stranger. You'll see that many times in the Bible. Ye, talking about all of us, shall not afflict any widow or fatherless child. It's talking to the whole congregation. If thou, singular, affect them in any wise, and they will cry all to me, I will surely hear their cry. So if you hurt any kind of orphan or kid, and God hears it, he's going to hear the cry. And my wrath, God's wrath, shall wax hot, and I will kill you with a sword, and your wives shall be widows, and your children fatherless. Don't mess with kids, or else God's going to get you. If thou, singular, lend money to any of my people that is poor by thee, thou, singular, shalt not be with him, as an usurer, neither shalt thou lay upon him usury. So it's saying if you let somebody money, you're not supposed to charge them interest. Don't charge my people interest, because the borrower is slave to the lender. If thou, singular, take thy raiments to the pledge, you shall deliver it unto him that the sun goeth down. So if you say, hey, listen, I want to borrow your lawnmower. So what I do is I say, okay, I want to have the shirt on your back as basically like proof. You know, sometimes when you go someplace and you rent something, they take your license. It's basically saying that, you know, when I get my thing back, you're going to get your thing back. And it says, do it before the sun goes down. You know, if you borrow my lawnmower, you bring it back to me the same day. For that is his only covering, and his raiment for a skin. Where shall he sleep? And it shall come to pass when he crieth unto me that I will hear, for I am gracious. So he's saying that if somebody borrows something, you take their clothing. And it's saying here because the clothing was a really important thing. You know, it would take over a week to make an outfit. You know, we don't really have that issue here. You know, clothing is not something that was mass produced. You had to sit there and pick the cotton, and you got to go shave the sheep, and you had to make it into different strands and sew it all together, and it took a long time. Thou, singular, shall not revile any of the gods, nor curse the ruler of thy people. So, if there's somebody that's in power, you're not supposed to curse them, and don't put any gods before the Lord. Thou, singular, shall not delay to offer the first of thy ripe fruits, and of thy liquors, and the firstborn of thy sons shall give thou to me. So he's saying that when you go out and you plant a field, the first fruits, the things that are out there first, you give that to God. And if you make anything or whatever, it's God's. And the firstborn's also God's. It says, I think it's in I don't remember what it is, somewhere in Exodus, I believe it is. That says that, you know, your firstborn belongs to God. You can either have him be a worker for the temple, or you could pay God the money for the child. Likewise shall thou do thine oxen and with thy sheep. 7 days shall it be with his dam, and on the 8th day you shall give it to me. So the firstborn of the oxen and sheep and such, you let it stay with the mother for 7 days, and on the 8th day it gets sacrificed or given to God. Ye shall be a holy man unto me, neither shall you eat any flesh that is torn of beasts of the field. You shall cast it to the dogs. So if a wild animal kills your cow, don't eat it. Give it to the dogs. Let the birds and different animals eat it. You don't eat it. Or if you see roadkill, you don't eat it. You just let the animals eat that. That's not something you're supposed to eat, because you know it could have some kind of diseases or something in it. Well, guys, that's the video. I appreciate you guys watching. If you got any questions, you can email me. You can comment below. Make sure you like and subscribe. If you know somebody that might like this, go ahead and share it with them. Apparently YouTube and everything, the best way to share it is, the best way to get the better algorithm is to share it. On the bottom right corner, I'm going to put the Exodus Bible study so you can see all the Exodus so far. On the top left is going to be Genesis Bible study, and then the bottom right is probably going to be does the Bible condemn slavery, or does the Bible allow slavery, or whatever. Anyways, guys, that's the video. I appreciate you guys watching. Have a great day.